Hello, this is Cedar of Cedar Sacred Well. I am a somatic practitioner and nervous system coach, and today I'm going to teach you some sneaky somatics. So, these are somatic nervous system tools that you can use when you're out and about, in a public place, or in a social situation without anyone necessarily knowing what you're doing. So, why would we want to use these somatic tools in those types of situations? First of all, if you are dealing with a dysregulated nervous system, maybe a chronic illness or something like that, you want to have tools that you can use in all kinds of situations, especially because public places and social scenarios tend to be some of the more triggering issues that we deal with. And then also, if you're just on your way to maybe a doctor's visit that you're not excited about, or in the dentist's waiting room, or you have to have a conversation with someone that you know is going to be kind of tense, you can use these tools to help you go into that situation as grounded and as calm as possible. And then lastly, if you're in a situation where you actually need some of that sympathetic activation, if something dangerous is going down, maybe near you, around you, maybe you're at a peaceful protest and then things start to get heated suddenly. These are tools that you can use to help maintain some of your connection to your sense of safety, which is going to help keep that prefrontal cortex of the brain online and keep you from getting totally hijacked by your survival response. So, here is the first tool. It's very simple. It's just your awareness. Where is your awareness? Are you able to focus on your body? Are you able to focus inward? So, the first trick is to think of your feet. So, try that right now. Just think of your feet. Can you feel the surface under your feet? The other alternative is think of your seat. What are you sitting on? Can you feel that connection point between your bum and the couch or the chair? That works if you're sitting down, obviously, the feet if you're standing up. So just take a moment and bring your awareness to those points of contact. Similarly, you can think of your back or your breath. So if you want to just bring your attention to the back of your body, and then also when we bring our awareness to the breath, that's also very regulating. So just notice, where do you feel the breath most obviously right now? And the second tool growing out of that is to actually change the breath. So the first tool is awareness, just being aware of the breath or different parts of the body. And then the second tool is actually changing the way that you're breathing. And there's a few different techniques for this. The first one is just to breathe a little bit deeper and a little bit slower, because as we get activated, the breath is going to get shallow and it's going to get fast. So wherever you are right now, just tuning into your breath, and see if you can invite the breath to drop all the way down into the diaphragm. So letting the belly be soft and letting the breath really fill that space. So that's the inhale half of the breath. And on the exhale half of the breath, we're going to slow that down. One way to do this is to breathe out through the mouth with pursed lips. And if you're out in public, this doesn't have to be obvious. It doesn't have to be like a sort of thing. You can just have a small opening of your mouth to breathe out through. So breathing in nice and deep. And then with a small opening in your mouth, just breathing out nice and slow. Let's do a couple more of those just to really feel into it. In through the nose and then slowly out through the mouth. Don't forget to breathe all the way down into the belly. And then slowly, once again, out through the mouth. That one is really very subtle. And another tool that I use with the breath is called the Physiological Sigh. So this one's a little bit more involved, I guess, but it's still very inconspicuous, you could say. So with this one, you will be breathing in through the nose as before, but when you finish that inhale, you're going to do a quick sniff and then breathe out. You can breathe out through the mouth or through the nose. So breathing in through the nose and sniff, and then out. And let's practice a few of those together. So in through the nose, sniff, and then out, nice and slow. One more time, in through the nose, and then sniff, and out, nice and slow. So that's something that you can really easily do wherever you are, that just shows the body it's okay, we're safe, we can release a little bit of stress. You might notice as you do this that you actually start to yawn, which is a really good sign that your nervous system is getting the message. So another tool that you can use is with a tactile input. So the first one is just simply rubbing the tips of the fingers together. You can do this on one hand or both hands. You can go in little circles, or you can go back and forth. You can even do this in your pocket so no one sees. Just feeling the sensation on the tips of the fingers, trying to really tune into it to the point that you can feel the tiny little bumps of your fingerprints. Another option for this is to take your clothing and feel the texture of the clothing between your fingers. Especially if you have something soft or something fuzzy or something with kind of a interesting texture, that can be a really good thing to use. And then another tool that can work really well is tapping. So you can tap on the collarbone as a really good spot, or we can use what is called bilateral stimulation. So that's when you stimulate one side of the body and then the other and alternate. You can do that if you have your arms crossed. You can just tap on your arms or on your shoulders. You can also tap on your tops of your thighs if you're sitting or standing. Or you can tap one foot and then the other foot on the ground. You can do this really anywhere on your body. If you have your arms crossed like this, you can do kind of like on either side. And you want to find whatever pace feels good and soothing. So maybe that's a really slow pace. Or it may start out more fast and then you kind of slow it down. And then the last tool I want to teach you is essentially orienting. So if we're in an unfamiliar place, sometimes our nervous system will be a little more keyed up or on edge or hypervigilant because we haven't established a sense of safety and we don't really know what's happening in this space. So taking the time to intentionally key into that and intentionally look around and actually scan the environment can be one way to reassure the nervous system that, okay, there's no threats here right in this moment. You can do that by simply slowly scanning in a 360-degree circle. Don't forget, you can also look up and down. Or you can do it a little bit differently and try to find different colors. Like you could choose the color blue and be like, okay, how many times can I find the color blue in this room? Or you might choose a shape such as a circle or a square. So let's practice that right now wherever you happen to be. And just starting on one side, looking maybe even all the way behind you, and notice. Pick a color. Maybe it's blue, maybe it's red, maybe it's yellow. How many times can I find that color? Or if you prefer, you can pick a shape like squares or circles or triangles. And if you're out in a public place, you might not have time to do a full, really slow 360-degree scan, but you can at least start looking around and just noticing what is present, what is here in this environment. So if you're at home and you want to practice this, do it as slowly as you can, even if that feels kind of weird. And then when you're out and about, you'll kind of have that trained in. And that's true of all of these tools. If you practice them when you're in a safe place and you have a bit more regulation starting out, it'll be just that much easier to access them and actually remember to use them when you're in a situation that is a bit more stressful or intense. So if you enjoyed these tools, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, or visit my website, cedarsacredwell.com. Thanks.